Do you feel that like you because this thing is also taboo in the black, like it's not a thing, like aome angane. But do you feel that like you were lucky because ever since I've met you, you've always been open about your drugs. You've always been open about like even if like I wasn't like even though you've never talked about the mental, but I could always sense it. But it's not like you're also trying to be defensive of it, you know? Do you think that, and one thing that keeps you going is that you saw it early, you know, before you even blew up, you saw it early, you opened up to it, and you addressed it with the people that you felt could actually like kind of like go, okay, this is what it is. They almost diagnose it, and then you can go, okay, cool. So I need to, because like now you just said I needed to take a break. I knew I wasn't taking time. I stopped loving things. Not a lot of people don't know that. They just feel like I'm cartel. You know, maybe I needed to take a break 10 years ago. You know, but I was also tired. But I never knew I never knew I was depressed. Also, I was depressed. Well, now that I know what it was. I never knew in 2010 that I was depressed. 2010 to 2011 to 12, I never knew. And I just needed to get away from everything. But I just thought that I'm just tired.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you were going through all those feelings, did you think to yourself, if I speak out or if I seek help or whatever, or maybe this brand is not gonna mess with me, or maybe that promoter is not gonna book me, or maybe this person is not gonna buy my album or trust my work, or did any of those feelings, was any of those feelings maybe a block?
Because I was
to
vocal.
you going to being like...
Because me in my time, you know, I was vocal. I was almost leading this hip hop like world at that time. I was part of the spokesperson for it. I felt that I couldn't feed that beast anymore. I felt that like if I came out and said anything, people would see that I can't feed. It's like I've been putting this facade. People would see so I felt that maybe I needed to die silently and people need to forget about me. And maybe because I needed to survive, you know, let me find something else on the side. I just felt that I needed to die silently, let people forget. And when I knew that, let's say at that time, maybe there's a KO that's dropping, and I'd always go, yeah, we're going to compete. There's a so-and-so, we're going to compete in the market. I said, let me stop even thinking of anyone as a competition. Let me just get away. Let me just like look from the outside. Do you know what I mean?
Did you do yourself justice with that though?
I never knew what it was, but I think I'm here now.
That's the thing. I mean, it's all about the journey, which is cool.
But no one diagnosed that you're depressed, you come from nothing, and you've achieved so much in your life, and losing a part of those things because of maybe success, whatever, you've achieved so much and you've defined yourself with this, and that's how people define you. It's like, you know, but you fear that like if people define you that way, immediately when you're not that anymore, who are you? So I was in a who am I? I don't know who I am. So I had to go back to, you know what I had to think? I had to think of myself in Leondale at my mother's house when I needed to start thinking like I was starting again. I needed to think about like I never had money. I needed to think about what was it like when I was just waking up to bread, peanut butter and jam every day. And it was just, I needed to get my thoughts in that process because that's how I knew that that's when I was just me and I was happy with nothing. Because now I had an expectation, an entitlement. I was built, man. People have an expectation of me and an entitlement of me also. But no one cared when I was eating bread and butter in my mother's house and I wasn't paying anybody anything. So I needed to start thinking like that again, which was humbling. It was painful. It was frustrating. It was, it felt like I was useless. Until this day, I still apply those things because we feel like we're important. But I gotta feel like I'm useless to kind of work on feeling like I'm useful. Does that make sense?
I don't know who it was. Like, but at the stage where I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do stuff, whatever, right? Someone was like, because you must understand, like, I'm also going through like a lot of things where it's like, there's this person that you are to help. Just to help and keep the machine going, like you were saying?
Like I was
like you were doing?
Yeah.
But then there's also the person behind which the real people actually draw inspiration from the person behind the achievements, behind the power, behind the dope work. The real people want to hear the story from the guy behind. And we don't appreciate that in the moment sometimes. You know, I think, you know, the superhero can't be the superhero without that weakness. Every superhero,
kryptonite.
yeah, and that's every time you watch a comic, you always think to yourself, but it's so easy to kill him because you know the weakness. Everyone knew Superman's weakness, right? Everyone knew Batman's weakness. Everyone knew Spider-Man's weakness, which was the girl, whatever it is, right? Us as musicians and as leaders, we also need to start not hiding our weaknesses, you know? And I think we do that a lot, you know what I'm saying? So this guy came up to me, he's like, yo, your only problem is that you forget who you are. And that's why you can't continue with this journey of yours. Because you actually forget who you actually are. Like, you're not somebody who's trying to compete for the charts. You're not somebody who's trying to come out with you don't need the #1 album in the world or in the country or whatever. You don't need any of that. But you don't know who you are. You forgot who you are. And to these people, you're someone who is an example. And you can't fucking show people the good shit all the fucking time. Same thing like what's been happening with this SARS tax thing. I find it weird that people are surprised when all these stories are coming out. Like, SARS is on my ass too. SARS is on everybody's ass. They want their money. And a lot of us didn't get educated on that. You know what I'm saying? We never got educated on how to do our tax and how to maneuver these things. But every time a story comes out about the tax, we never come out and actually speak about it. It's a story in the papers. It's a story on Twitter. But we need an opportunity to get together as artists, as entertainers, actresses, because they're coming for literally everybody, right? Everybody. We need an opportunity for all of us to get together and say, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Hey, I do owe 2 million, or I do owe $1 million. How did I get that wrong? How can I get it right? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like a lot of artists also die a bit broke, because people think we have everything. We don't have everything, my G. People think artists got everything. It's a perfect life. You got the big lawn and the big pool.
You're lucky.
And 10 cars.
It's just a simple thing. Think when you got.
You're lucky. They don't know I'm trying to get rid of all those cars. The same cars I was sitting with you with, revving in the back. Yeah. They don't know I'm trying to get rid of all them cars, because all they're doing is just adding more pressure to my life. They don't know I'm clearing my debt. I'm trying to clear my debt, because we're living in debt, serious debt. They don't know we're trying to clear that. So when the kid sees you in a Ferrari or in a Merc or you pushing a big Jeep, Range Rover, whatever it is, that's all they believe. You know what I'm saying? They believe that that's the ideal goal. But they don't know when we have to actually pull back and sort out our affairs. And that's just like one of the things that we need to also realize, that people actually want to hear the true story now. And when you're not feeling good, when you're feeling depressed, they want to hear it, you know what I'm saying? And some of them want to help you. And for me, I think pulling away made me realize that, because I was like in Ibiza. I was in Ibiza, bro, like listening to this music, like EDM now, it's going, you know what I'm saying? I went to the beach like in the morning, I met some other guy, like some other Indian cat with a long beard and everything. And that guy, all he said is like, I was playing him music, my past music, and then he was looking in my eyes. And then he was like, yo, I don't believe you. He said something simple as that. He said, I don't believe you. And I was like, shit, this guy doesn't even know me, doesn't know my story. He's the first person ever in my career to say, I don't believe you. Come with, I want to hear the message that you really need to start spitting out. You know what I'm saying? That fucked me up, because I was also working on an album. I scrapped the whole album after that. And like, I'm starting an album afresh now, about new stuff, because that guy said, I don't believe you. I was like, damn. It means actually there's people who actually want the real life stories, you know? They don't just want to hear people talking about the good times and all that. People actually want the true stories now. And we're getting there. That's why I'm grateful for guys like Chava. I'm grateful for guys like this new kid, Umlindo. I'm grateful for guys like that, because in their music, it's almost like you can hear that they cried in their life. You know what I'm saying? And even as rappers, we can take a lot of notes from those guys because we're crying, though, you know. And people are crying out there, and our art can help them maybe get some courage to speak about it, get some courage to seek help, get some courage to be proud of who they are. Because, dude, you go on Instagram and all you see is like, you know, nice cars. You see people taking pictures in the best lighting. That's what you see. I tweet out what I need you to see. I Instagram what I need you to see. I don't Instagram the 80% where I'm stressed as fuck. Where like this song is coming out, Sfuna My Coins is coming out, I can't believe it is coming out. You thinking in your head, I'm dropping snippets, it's looking good. You know, I'm happy, 100%. Inside, I'm fucking scared that if I drop the song and people aren't fucking with it, they're gonna be like, oh, Ricky's done, Ricky fell off. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared that if I show them these visuals and someone is not quite maybe on where I am visually, they're gonna look at it like, that shit's whack. That's the shit that goes through my mind all the time. People ask me on stage, why do you always turn up on stage so much? I only turn up on stage because of the fear. Like the fear of when I performed and people wouldn't come to the front of the stage or react, or people wouldn't come to you and say, oh, nice song, whatever. I'm doing all of that stuff, it's my reaction to that feeling. And that feeling I have 80-90% of the time.
It
you know?
makes the show.
Yeah, but I think that creates the good work for me. But it's constant fear,
So you essentially, I always say, people are tired of the canned foods.
Yeah.
People want to know, how did it get canned?
Yeah.
You know, those canned beans, you know, like they want to go catch the fish. They want you to tell them, how did you actually put it in the can? That's the generation we in, where emotions are a very important thing.
Yeah.
Like someone would have said to you, all the success you have, Ricky, that's a product of the energy you created. And I had to learn that. It's us sitting here. This is not me, you know.
Yeah.
This is a product of the energy I've created, the business relationships, the money. It's a product of this innocence. I said, imagine your default setting is, you know, when you say your innate setting, imagine your default setting could just drive you to success.
Yeah.
Drive you to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Your default setting. But you got to understand whether your default setting drives you to that or drives you to something else.
Something else, yeah.
Because it drives you, if it doesn't drive you to 1 million, 2 million, you keep chasing that, you're not going to be happy. Because it could drive you to 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, but you're the happiest person. So people are literally like wishing that their default setting drove them to 1 million, 2 million. And that's what rap is. Instead of saying, this is where my default setting is leading me. And once they can do that, even the output of the content will be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
But yo, man, with that being said, I want to congratulate you. You know, I know you got your limited edition out here in the streets, Vaseline limited edition.
Yeah.
It's a long ass journey. Someone thinks that you value like, you know, what is the journey behind Vaseline, this limited edition? It's a deal that goes beyond just like, yo, endorsement, this product. I mean, what does it mean to you, and how does it connect to who you are as a person with all your fears, or everything we talk about, family heritage, starting strong, and just how does Ricky connect with this in Vaseline?
Yeah, well, I think you know, like objectively, it's a bit like you always want to be in partnership or in business with or working with brands that are not fly-by-nights.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from people who have been doing things for a long time.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from people who have had their stamp on history. And that's like respecting your OGs. With a Vaseline, it's like, that's something that's been with us since we were born, before we were born, before our grandparents were born. And being involved with a brand like that, you get to learn a lot about how to sustain a good thing and how to improve a good thing. And Vaseline is one of those brands. They created a simple, simple product that expanded into bigger things, into more things. And now we're doing Vaseline Men. 140 years ago, I don't know if they had the vision that you would have a men's range. You know what I'm saying?
That's that one energy that started that small thing.
Small.
Never became the product. It just became the energy, and it allowed itself to grow.
It allowed itself to grow and became something so much bigger, And you could learn a lot from brands like that. So me being with Vaseline, for me, is one of those processes, like the processes that are sort of rewarding in that sense, Yeah. But on the other side, I mean, like we were just talking about how kids these days are looking out.
Yeah.
They're looking out. They're stimulated from a lot of stuff that's happening on the outside. And to have a bottle with a guy like me who can maybe tell you a deep story, can tell you an inspirational story, can tell you bad stories, that's been through the roller coaster, that bottle is a motivation and an inspiration to these kids to tell them that whatever you are going through, whatever you've been through, it's all about starting a new journey and starting that on your best foot. I take it for granted sometimes, like how many times I've actually restarted myself, and I think this bottle sort of like made me understand that a bit more. So I just think about the kid who's sitting like, somewhere in Tanzania that doesn't have any hope to do anything. For them to see a black guy with a beard, with fucking tattoos, and his face is on a Vaseline, what does that do for that kid, For him, nothing is impossible.
It's a strong foundation to start strong from.
Yeah, for him it's like, oof, let me get working. Let me start moving now, because like, they know that some things are unattainable. I don't think people are stupid. Some people know that I'll never be a billionaire from gold. I'm not gonna dig up diamonds. I'm not gonna have Matsepe's money or Cyril's money. They know that. You know what I'm saying? But with us, it's like they can, if they put enough work in and they train themselves, it's like, it's something more attainable. Maybe not to the highest level, but music is like an outlet, It's not really about what you can gain from it. It's about creating that outlet for you, You have musicians that are in some of the, some of the fastest growing areas, like you in tech, and that started from music. People think that you're into music. What you do is not really a music blog. You're into tech. And music took you that direction,
Yeah, of course.
Like you're a tech company, you know what I'm saying? And kids also, they can get motivated to get involved with their dreams, and your dream leads you to where the money's made.
Yeah.
I don't think an ordinary kid just wakes up thinking, I need to be, as rich as the CEO of F&B. I don't think they're thinking that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are thinking like, how can I take my passion and make it work for me? So I commend Vaseline for doing that, because they could have taken like a TV actress, someone who's less controversial, someone who's a bit more straightforward and easy.
Yeah.
But they decided to go with something that, that can resonate to people in a different way.
Yeah. Yo, Rick, I love this conversation we're having. And the whole point is to empower. And I've been offering my balcony a couple of times to some people, I think you need to touch base with more people who have these views, So if you don't mind, I'ma hire you.
I've got a job. Mamzito, I've got a job.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's short-term contract.
Hey man, I'm seven.
Speak to a couple of people, let's talk about this grooming thing, let's talk about this heritage thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about family, let's talk about starting strong,
Yeah.
I'll let you choose your guests, you do your own thing.
Okay.
But most importantly, I want you to use this platform, because I'm your brother for beginning, you know what I mean? I want you to use this platform to show them, to hand over these cats the product, so they can see and
Yeah,
everyone
where's the
can see at
product?
home that it's a real thing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Let's get my stuff.
so my G,
Pick up.
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Thank
This is
you.
your month. Shout out to Vaseline for looking out. And I'm gonna let you just take ownership. And this is your month to talk your conversations, do your thing. But I just want you to have the product so everybody sees
Thank
that
you.
it's a real thing. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
Peace, man. See?
One love, bro.
Out here with Riky Rick. The single is out, by the way. Make sure you get that. I'm a coins. Can't believe it. Yeah.
Broadcast live